Here's why you can't have a rational conversation with someone who's dysregulated, and this doesn't matter if they're an anxious or an avoidant attacher. So here's where you may have seen this. It's the avoidant attacher who's just broken up with you. You're trying to get answers from them and they have shut down, they've gone cold, they've walled you out, and you cannot get a single drop of empathy, kindness, or warmth out of them. Or it's the anxious attacher who's just losing their mind, blowing up your phone. They've sent 15, 20, 30 text messages in a row. They're begging, they're crying, they're threatening to show up at your house or your workplace. What's happening here? Both of these people are in a dysregulated state. And you cannot get compassion, empathy, connection, and rational thoughts happening when you are dysregulated. So for the sake of simplicity, picture the brain is divided into two parts. I can do more neuroanatomically correct videos later on, but for the sake of simplicity today, two parts for the brain. We have the frontal lobe. Think of this as the logical, switched on, regulated part of your brain. Then we've got the survival part of our brain. This is where the amygdala and all of those lovely things that try and keep us alive in a crisis, where they live and when they come online. So when we're regulated, this is when we can reason, we can show empathy, we can connect with people, we demonstrate logic in our decision making. But when we're dysregulated, this is when the survival part of our brain has come online. And that's when whatever has set it off, the body has hit the panic button and we've headed into our fight, flight, freeze, or fawn response. And the thing is, dysregulated doesn't mean your system is broken. It just means that the survival part of your brain is coming online when it doesn't need to. And this is much of the driver behind the behaviors of those with insecure attachment styles, be it anxious or avoidant. The avoidant attacher who freaks out and withdraws when you get too close. The anxious attacher who freaks out and blows up when there's too much distance or there's inconsistency. All of these behaviors, because of what has happened in developing their relational blueprints, has led to the development of dysregulated behaviors in response to close interpersonal relationships and an inability to stay regulated and centered in themselves. And this is why when you are seeking closeness, when you're seeking reasoning, if you're trying to have a logical, open, vulnerable conversation with someone who is dysregulated, this is why it can't happen. So the avoidant who's just abruptly broken up with you and you're asking them, why? Why have you done this? We were fine 2 days ago, what's happened? And they shut down even harder. They're in survival mode. The frontal lobe is nowhere to be seen, so you're not going to get the empathy, the logic, the reasoning, the closeness from them at that point in time. Or the anxious attacher who is spinning out uncontrollably. They're clinging, they're panicking, they're saying things that they don't mean, that are really irrational, and you just can't get them to calm down. So when people, either anxious or avoidant, are in this state, it is their survival part of their brain that is online. The frontal lobe, remember, that controls closeness, empathy, logical decision making, that's offline. You are not going to get any of those responses from them. The survival part of your brain does not give a shit about empathy. It doesn't care about closeness. It doesn't really care about logical decision making. It cares about survival. So if you've ever felt crazy trying to have a conversation with someone in this state and you can't understand why you can't get through to them, you are not crazy. You are just trying to talk to their survival system, not their regulated self. This is why they're acting like someone that you don't even know. If you've ever experienced this or you want to learn more, drop a comment.